Influential, inspiring, controversial, sometimes upsetting. There aren't many North Carolinians as complex and have the capability to bring out raw emotion in people as tonight's Newsmaker.
And a lot of that has to do with what he does. He's an evangelist, having taken over the reins of the organization his father, the Reverend Billy Graham, built. That, in a way, makes him the closest thing to a moral compass our country has right now. In that role, he's steadfast in his beliefs and doesn't mind sharing them with others, whether they want to hear it or not. But as I learned when I spent some time with him recently, Franklin Graham's outspokenness goes far beyond this country's borders. In a multi-building compound nestled in a quiet, off-the-beaten-path, almost rural neighborhood of Boone, North Carolina, is the international headquarters of an organization that, like the biblical figure in its name, helps people.
About 110 pounds.
Samaritan's Purse president and CEO Franklin Graham has traveled to impoverished and disaster-stricken parts of the world since he took over the organization in 1978. Providing food in these places is a big part of what Samaritan's Purse does. So is medical care. This warehouse in Boone is full of medical equipment ready to be flown out at a moment's notice to support the 800 doctors a year it sends to work in mission hospitals.
In Liberia, we've had a program there for a number of years.
Liberia, one of the West African countries in the heart of the Ebola outbreak.
The World Health experts feel that Ebola will be finished sometime this year. And when I say finish, not that it's eradicated, but there's a cycle that these kind of infections go through.
That doesn't mean it'll go away entirely.
No, it may go away for a few years and then come back.
What is your organization's biggest need on the Ebola front right now?
Well, it's finances. It's very expensive because what you're doing is you're consuming supplies at a horrific rate every day. And those supplies have to be burned or buried after you use them. And so every time you put a gallon on and you take that gallon off, that has to be thrown away.
But Ebola isn't the only international crisis on his mind. Given what's happened recently in Paris and other places, so is radical Islam. How do we defeat an enemy that is so passionate for its cause and is willing to die for that cause?
Well, first of all, I think America has to understand what Islam is. And because they get their instructions from the Quran that says it's okay to murder, it's okay to have slaves. And if you die in the process, you'll go to heaven and you'll have 70-some virgins waiting to have sex with you. This is a belief system that's very hard to defeat. But we as Americans need to understand who they are and what they stand for. And I believe until this is stopped, we should not be allowing immigration from those areas of the world.
Is Islam still the very evil and wicked religion that you described after 9/11?
First of all, there are many Muslim people who are wonderful people that they don't want any part of this. They want to raise their children, they want to live their lives, and they don't want anything to do with what these radicals are doing. But it is a very evil system, no question about it, and I have not changed my position on that one bit.
Given his criticism of radical Islam, I asked Franklin Graham if he ever feared for his life. He said he's aware it is a real threat, but he's still going to travel the world, including the Middle East, and he's not going to change what he does. To watch clips of my entire interview with Franklin Graham, including his very candid thoughts on the country's moral foundation, homosexuality, race relations, as well as his thoughts on his outspokenness as compared to his father's, just find this story on our website right now at myfox8.com.